Alright guys, I hope you are doing well. I've decided with this channel I want to review and discuss films that I find have not been very well analyzed or talked about for a lot of big film goers and movie channels and movie buffs in general. So I wanted to talk today about a film that is one of my absolute favorites of all time, a film that I have seen more than on 4 or 5 occasions, and I only discovered it last year, and this film is none other than The Deer Hunter.
One shot is what it's all about. Deer has to be taken with one shot. I don't think about one shot anymore. The whole thing, it's crazy. You want to play games? All right, I'll play you games. Ow! Throw it!
Now, what I love so much about The Deer Hunter is, well, where do I even begin? First of all, you have Robert De Niro in this thing, and he is at the pinnacle of his career. We're talking 1980 stardom. You have him off the boats of Taxi Driver with Scorsese. He did Coppola's Godfather Part 2. At this point, he's just a tour de force, and he really comes through in this film. He does just such a phenomenal job. The rest of the supporting cast also just absolutely incredible. I'm talking Meryl Streep is in this, and I'm not a really big fan of her new work. Her films just don't connect with me, but even her, she just gives such a fantastic performance in this film. There's just so much in it that I think is very overlooked, and although many people seem to have a very positive and genuine reaction to this film, it's not very discussed about. It's not really talked about today in the film community, and I don't really know why. You have a film about a group of people before the Vietnam War going to this war, after the war, and during the war, okay? And it's a 3-act structure. You have a 3-hour film, and it's beautiful because each hour is literally 1 act. So you have Act 1, the first hour of the film, before they go off to Vietnam. Act 2, what goes down, the shit that takes place at Vietnam. And Act 3, the repercussions and aftermath of Vietnam. And it's such a great character-driven story. It is such a good character piece, while also showing the insane magnitude of the situation that so many people were dealing with. And none other than the great Robert De Niro himself is the one to be really cast in the image of these soldiers, and he plays one to absolute brilliance. I just love how this film actually takes its time setting itself up. It doesn't feel rushed in the slightest bit. I mean, we have an hour at the beginning of the film with 2 hunting scenes, I believe. Maybe it was 1 hunting scene. I should rewatch it again. 1 hunting scene in this film, a wedding sequence, and just a bunch of bros, camaraderie, chilling, hanging out, enjoying their time, going to the bar, going to the pub, cheering their friend on, going to war. I mean, doing so many different things, and it's just, they don't make films like this anymore where people are genuinely just being people, and we get to feel that. And it's insane because back then in the 80s, the 90s, even sometimes as late as the early 2000s, in films, people just did their thing. Okay, there didn't always have to be action going down. We're so used to these insane Marvel films, colorful lights shooting at us, Disney firing up all canvases. That wasn't what cinema was back then, and it's such an elegant film that portrayed such a difficult time. I'd like to touch on this film's second act. It has 1 sequence, and I think it's very famous. If you haven't seen the film, many of you probably haven't seen this sequence, involving an interrogation, a Russian roulette scene that takes place in Vietnam. Probably one of the greatest scenes in film history, if I do say so myself. But there's just so much I could say about this film. I really don't want to say anymore. I feel like I've said enough. Don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's just one of those films that really connects with me, and it's one I think many audiences will connect with. Again, it's 3 hours long. It hits you so deep in the heart. You forget what you're watching a film. You feel so invested in these characters. The action that takes place at Vietnam completely sucks you in. I mean, the second act of this film is absolutely bonkers. You're in this thing and you're praying that you get it alive just as much as these characters do. In the third act, with the entire repercussions of Vietnam, how this takes a toll on the characters and these people that we have come alongside to see their growth, the change that they have made. It is absolutely outstanding. This film is one for the ages, it is one for the masses, it is one more people need to see, which is why I'm going to give The Deer Hunter an A+. So there you have it, my review for The Deer Hunter. I hope you guys go out and see this film. I think it had a beautiful 4K remaster recently. If you have a UHD player, physical media, by the way, is the way to go, and a really good surround sound setup and a good TV, just put this baby in. It is one of the most beautiful looking films I've ever seen. Amazing transfer, and the film looks incredible. So I know we can't leave the house right now, but if you really want to feel what it's like to be human again, please go out of your way and watch The Deer Hunter. It is so worth your time, and I am telling you, you will not be disappointed. Money back if you don't like it, trust me. But yeah, so I hope you guys are doing really well during these difficult times again. I hope you're really taking care of yourselves. Mental health is so important right now. Just do what you gotta do. If school is stressing you out in your school, it's okay, drop a course now. It's better to drop a course than have something way worse going on in your life. If you need a day to take a day off work, just do it, just relax. Remember how important life is, and remember how important it is to love yourself. See you next time.